Let's get the energy up before we start recording.
Welcome to the Too Old or Pure Gold movie podcast. In today's episode, we're discussing the 1982 sci-fi movie Tron. And spoiler alert, this is my pick and one of the ones I always think of when I think about the magic of movies in my childhood. The format of our podcast, two Gen Xers rewatch beloved movies from our youth to find out are they really as good as we remember. To help us debate and ultimately pass judgment, we ask our millennial co-hosts to watch these movies for the first time and help us determine are they too old or pure gold. I'm your host, Olen Vanderleeden, representing Gen X, and I identify with blue. Joining me today is my computer illiterate Gen X co-host and red-leaning Mathew Stockton.
I'm more pink-leaning.
Representing the millennials this week, we have actual computer scientist Sean.
Can I get purple if we're choosing our color?
I was just going to ask you what your color was. Okay, you're purple. We also have professional nerd critic Anthony.
Hey, guys.
Before we get into this episode, just a reminder that we need your support to grow this podcast, so please remember to like, follow, and subscribe so we can keep bringing you this amazing content. Today's movie is the 1982 sci-fi computer movie Tron. Tron stars Jeff Bridges and was written and directed by Steve Lisberg. Before Tron, Lisberg directed, well, nothing. I mean, he did a movie called Analympics. That's Analympics, not Analympics.
Seen that one.
After Tron, he did one failed movie called Hot Pursuit. Basically, this movie is his legacy, and after this, Hollywood decided that he's more of an ideas guy than an execution guy, so I don't know why. The tagline from this movie poster is, "A world inside the computer where man has never been, not before now." IMDb describes the film as a computer hacker is abducted into a digital world and forced to participate in gladiatorial games where his only chance of escape is with the help of a heroic security program. And not only is that a great description, but I plan on using the word gladiatorial more in my life now. Now, for those of you that have not seen the movie Tron, I asked my 93-year-old dad to watch Tron and summarize the plot.
In this movie, we are entering a world of wide imagination. A young video games designer wonders what it would be like to enter the digital world. Lo and behold, his dream comes true, and Kevin Flynn is absorbed by his own mysterious world. In that special world, Kevin's digital counterpart has to fight Dillinger's digital equivalent named Sark, Ed Dillinger, the senior ENCOM vice president, who is accused by Kevin of having stolen his software. Turns out that he is fighting by using a malicious program called the Master Control Program. While two other digital characters, they're fighting for the freedom of oppressed programs. Their names are Tron. Yes, you heard it right. Tron sounds like a person, but he is in the digital world and he is actually a security program. And Yori. Yori eventually turns back to the human form after first having kissed digital Kevin. As for the actual fighting, the sounds and light flashes are endless and take intense concentration, plus sunglasses and earplugs. But the result is that the good guys are winning.
Okay, so for the record, he hated it. he found it.
I didn't get that.
He got the basic plot, but he did not like the movie. He found it to be endless. I'm going to go first with what I think of this movie, because the reason this is on the list is this really is one of my childhood favorites, and you guys have to understand the era. This is just when computers came out, just when arcade games were starting. I was spending my after-school time at Kmart playing Battlezone. Do you remember that game, Mathew? Battlezone?
Yeah.
It's wireframe tanks, and you're shooting wireframe tanks. So fun, early games. So this was also relevant in the day, and it was maybe the coolest thing I'd ever seen in the theater. at that time. So it's really hard for me to separate my childhood joy with this movie and look at it in an unbiased way. I know you guys are going to help me do that. So I don't know whether it actually holds up or not, but I do love the movie. Anthony and Sean, you guys are on this because I know this is not your first time watching this, because I watched it with you over 25 years ago. And I'm wondering if your opinion of it has changed since then. But just to remind you your review at the time, I put this movie on, watching it with you guys and with your sister. And 5 minutes into the movie, Anthony and Jess stood up and said, "This is garbage. I'm out of here." And then halfway through the movie, Sean sat quietly and watched it with me. And halfway through the movie, he just leaned over and whispered to me, "Do I have to do this anymore?" And I had to say no, and he left. So you guys did not like it first watch, but now that you guys are in your 30s, I wonder, how do you like Tron?
First off, I want to thank you, because you mentioning Battlezone, that was I actually thought about it last night, and that game I remember from elementary school, and I've been trying to figure out what the name of that game is for like 20 years, and I just looked it
There
up,
you go.
and that's it. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Fun
great.
times, great game.
Yes. I'm trying to be generous with this movie. I feel like it was phenomenal for 1982, the ideas, and it had some cool theories that we'll get into, but just a slog to get through.
I knew it, but I felt a little bad putting you on this one, but I needed you on it. Sean, you are in the computer world yourself now. Have you changed your opinion of this movie?
I don't know that helped me enjoy this movie. You know what? This movie is intriguing because for its era, it was an interesting concept, but it's not a good movie. It does not hold up, in my opinion. It was not a great deal of fun, but it was intriguing. They have an aesthetic that is so strong. And it kind of made me want to watch some of the later ones, just because I'm like, I wonder what you could do with modern graphics.
Well, I watched this, and then I went straight away to the theater to watch the new one, Tron Ares, and that.
Oh, don't give anything.
I won't give anything away, other than to say I had a great time watching it, and just what you can do with modern computer graphics in this film is just takes the ideas and brings them alive. Mathew.
I will also add, before
please.
Mathew goes, though, that Battlezone, fantastic game, and the Light Psycho game that came off this was amazing, and is still amazing.
Well, I'll bring one piece of trivia right forward, and that is that the video game that came after this, based on this, was more successful than the movie. Okay, Mathew, what did you think? You're the same age as me, or close. What did you think of this?
You're much older though. You are like emotionally, you're way older than I am.
Ouch!
So this is 1982, right? So for me, Tron isn't a movie just you watch. It's sort of this sort of world that you enter, right? And for 82, this was the future, right? Glowing grids and neon gods, a digital world, that you felt before nobody I knew owned a computer when this movie came out. So it was this, like, we'd never been on a computer before. Think of that, boys. We had never been on a computer before, and we're watching this movie about computers, right? So it was kind of like really cool. But you can feel the limits of the early tech in the movie, but you can also feel the awe that people had for computers and what could be at the time. And I like what you're talking about, the gladiatorial arena sort of thing, right? Because it's sort of like Tron turned the gladiatorial arena into code, and instead of the Empire's gone digital, the blood will be pixels sort of thing. And I think what fascinates me is how Tron treats computers like theology. That's a cool part of this movie. The users are gods, the programs are believers, and the master control program is a jealous Old Testament tyrant, if you think about it, right? And it's sort of this sort of faith in the system you can't fully see. So I found it fascinating. We'll get into Too Old or Pure Gold. I think Tron Legacy. I saw about 10 years ago with my friend Richard back in London, and we love the soundtrack to Tron Legacy, and we watched that movie together, and it's a great memory for me. And I'm looking, and then of course Olen, it's really funny, he lives in Brooklyn now, and he like left me a text message. I have to call him. He's like, I just saw Tron Ares without you, and it's so good. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, this movie is, yeah, I can see if you're younger, it's like, yeah, well, whatever, right? Like some cool parts, but when you, like, with being 1982, being a 12-year-old kid watching this, it inevitably carries that weight of how cool it was at the time that I'll never be able to let go. Even though being critical, it looks a little bit dated.
Yeah, I think that's the reality. And by the way, I'm sure you guys watched it on just a regular TV, but in 1982, to see this in the theater, yeah, it was.
Oh, speaking of, okay, so Justin and I have, Justin's my husband to all the listeners. Justin and I have this super, like, trillion pixel TV. It's like a really good TV. And Olen, the colors were so incredible in this movie. I don't know if they remastered it or what, but like it was all glowing. It was so good.
Well, just wait. I've got some really interesting things to say about how this movie was made.
Okay.
That if you guys don't know,
but I
know
I understand these guys, right? Like if I didn't have that childhood memory, I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with them, but I have this thing in my heart, so
I feel like
can't let go of.
For me too, I had like a false memory of this movie. I thought it was all about like the motorcycle racing and fighting in that, and I didn't realize how deep it went in a different way.
Yeah,
so
yeah, me too. Do you think it's because of the video game? Like, because I hadn't watched this for.
I don't remember the video game.
I hadn't watched this for years, and I'm like, wait, I thought this was all about motorcycle racing. I couldn't remember. Yeah. I was like, I thought there was way more motorcycles in the movie than there was when I watched it again yesterday.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Yeah, Mathew, I mean, I think you're exactly right with your assessment. Like, this was just so cool at the time, and it's really hard to let go of that feeling, but maybe it's not a great film. I actually felt guilty making these guys do this episode, but I really wanted to do it.
Yeah, you can see their faces. They're like, we didn't want to do this.
The whole premise of this is revisiting the films that we love, eh, Mathew?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at their faces right now, and it's the same face as when we watched Xanadu.
Hey, Xanadu was interesting. This was I don't know. It started out with some promise, and then it started off a little slow. Then there was the promise, and then there was too much bleh in the middle. And I mean, I guess at the time it was cool with the graphics and the idea of computers, and I got like a real AI sense from it, like a ChatGPT thing going on.
That's the interesting discussion that I want to have around this movie, is aside from the movie itself, just the idea that it talked about, computers are going to take over the world, right? There's a line in the movie where he says, computers don't think, and he says, not yet, right? Uh-huh. It's pretty cool in anticipating what computers are going to do. And just circling back to what you said, Mathew, the computers were new. We didn't have them. This is the year the Commodore 64 came out. And Sean, you probably know it being a computer guy. But Commodore 64 was one of the first sort of home computers accessible, everybody could get. I mean, you recorded your programs on a tape, like a plastic tape. It was unbelievable. And this is before the Mac even existed. So long before that. Yeah, pretty cool.
I will say, like, we've watched a lot of different movies, good and bad, on here, and one of the things that this is clearest is I totally get why you would have loved it at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's a good movie, but I can totally see why, predating computers, this would have been quite impressive.
You guys also know, being on this podcast, that we're looking at movies of the era, and there was a lot of dog shit back then, right? Like, movies have really gotten a lot better, and we're sifting through to try to find the gems. So compared to a lot of the dog shit that we had in the day, this was, I mean, I think you'll hear it in the reviews too when people talk about this movie, just what an impact it had in the day. Okay, so maybe not so clever. Tron is short for Electron. Other people have said maybe it's short for trace on, a debugging command, but what I read is it's short for electron. Liz Berg, the director, was an animator who was fascinated with early video games and wondered what would happen if people would go inside games. So his pitch was the Wizard of Oz in a video game.
That is kind of what this is, so it's a good pitch.
Interesting.
It really is. Matthew, do you remember in the 80s how obsessed people were with hacking?
Well, we all grew up thinking we could get into like NASA and the defense system and stuff like that, just if we were smart enough.
I know. This started a whole era. Like, we did war games on this podcast, right? Like, there were so many hacking movies in the day. That's what everybody wanted to do, hack.
Hackers.
Sean, are there still a lot of hackers around or just spammers?
There's definitely
Even
more
hackers
scammers.
have dumbed down, right? Even hackers have dumbed down, and it's now like I'm a prince from Africa, and I need you to give me $1,000 in order to get 12 million.
Would you like to save money on your cell phone bill?
Hacking scenes in 80s movies is one of my favorites because they're all so ridiculous.
Yeah, they are. Sean, my husband's a software developer, and he just howls with laughter whenever there's computer scenes. He's like, what are they doing? Like,
Did you make Justin watch this?
did I make Justin watch this? No, I watched him. I made him watch Dark City, which we did last week.
Yeah, that was a good one. Sean, do computer programs take on the personality of their creator? Are there a bunch of Sean programs out there with purple hats?
No, fortunately for everyone.
Okay.
But Sean, there you do leave. I think programmers leave a bit of a trait. If you think about it, there's at least a way of thinking that's left behind.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's how you think is definitely a part of the program, but
Yeah,
the program is just, running through line by line.
yeah.
Okay, well, I want to tell you a couple of things about the making of this movie that I think are really cool. I don't know, they make it better for me. First of all, it's not the first CGI. So all of the wireframe things in this were CGI. Star Wars with the Death Star trench grid was really one of the first. But this is very early CGI, so that's kind of cool. But the glow of their suits, all of the colored suits, that was created by hand painting the frames. So this guy's an animator. This movie was made by Disney. They filmed it all with no color in the suits. They were just black and white suits, and then they hand painted it. So that's 500,000 frames that were hand painted. They had an army of people doing it.
Considering that's basically the majority of the scenes, that's an insane amount of work.
I know. It's incredible, and it was effective. And even if you look at the modern ones that are all CGI, Matthew, it doesn't have the same quality as the glow of these. Like, it really is cool, I thought.
I thought it was. I don't know. I looked it on my TV. It was awesome.
It's a pity they were basically wearing like garbage bags underneath the cool light effects. Impellos.
A lot of spandex.
A lot of spandex.
Spandex with pillows taped to it, and then they painted really cool lights on top.
The laser sequences were shot at the Lawrence Livermore Laboratory, which housed the largest laser in the world at the time. So, real laser in that movie.
There you go.
Does it really turn people digital?
It does not. It vaporizes them.
It does.
Turns them nothing. Matthew, in 1982, did you own a computer or a game console?
I did not. I had an Atari.
Atari 2600? Good.
The original Atari. Well, first I had Pong, and then I had Atari, and Asteroids and Space Invaders were my two favorite games.
Yeah, I had Asteroids. I can remember, Matthew, I
You didn't have Space Invaders?
had Space Invaders, but I'm just
okay.
going to tell you that I remember the day that I bought the Asteroids cartridge for the 2600. It was $70 in the day.
Wow.
I know, it was incredible. All right, let's roll into best parts. I actually thought the music and sounds were really cool. All of the computer sounds.
Okay, so that was my point about my friend Richard and I. The music and the sounds and the sound effects, whoever works on the Tron sound does an incredibly good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree with
I
you.
thought it was cool. Okay, guys, you didn't like this movie, but what were there any parts of it you did enjoy?
Yeah, I like the gladiatorial scenes. I felt like there was gonna be more of those, but they just kind of stalled out after a little bit.
How do you like the frisbee as a weapon?
It was better in Tron Legacy. I liked how they did it that way. This one was a little, I don't know. It's good for the time. I don't think they could have done it any better. So I'll give them that.
Okay, well, I got a long list. Funny enough.
I have a few
Okay.
before you go,
Go.
into your ongoing thing there. So I think overall the visual language is really cool.
Yeah.
Right, like it had never ever been done before. The phosphorescent suits, the light cycle battles. You know, primitive by today's standards, but mythic for us. And the whole world, there's almost this like spiritual stillness to like this geometry of the whole thing. I think it's actually oddly beautiful. And I have to say, the older I get, the more I love Jeff Bridges. So you know, all like surfer philosophy, hacker energy dude. I kind of liked his charm, that and his sort of like he carried a lot that cut through the abstraction and made it human. So I think he did some heavy lifting in this movie, and I think he did a really good job.
That's interesting because I thought Flynn was an asshole.
No, but for me, I know it's Flynn, but like it's Jeff Bridges who I really like. So
That's fast. I mean, I can get liking Jeff Bridges, but man, Flynn, it was like, if you tripped over that cliff edge, I think we'd be okay.
Sean, what you're picking up with on Flynn is confidence. He's not an asshole. He's confident, and yeah, I know people like that, Sean.
As a person who has a habit of loving the arrogant pricks in movies, this guy was just an asshole.
Okay.
you're hilarious.
I will say though, the art, like the look, the visual, the design, like the design of the world, like that's what I think holds up in this still. It is still feels like you look at that and you don't think of, 40 spin-offs and things that have done it later. Like that's still the Tron world.
Agreed.
And that's actually impressive in this world where there's so many redos of things and people have dissected so many movies to reuse components over and over. Like that world looks like that world. Like I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone mistaking the Tron world for a different universe, and that's really cool.
Did you know that there's a porn called Tron, the Tron XXX parody Fleshbot, and the tagline is the ultimate glow job.
That just made this episode worthwhile. And thank you for my cold open. Okay, well, I'm going to try a few best parts out on you guys and see what you think. First of all, Sean, Dillinger's, real Dillinger, his computer desk. Is that not the coolest for 1982?
I mean, that's still the coolest. I was watching that thinking, I wish that was my office.
All right, see? I knew it could have some stuff. And Mathew, I was so nostalgic for the arcade. I mean, I can't tell you when I see an arcade and all the kids playing those games in the arcade, how many hours I spent in a place like that. And it was just the best time of my life.
Okay, but the arcade scene, there's like an old grandma and grandpa in like a suit and a dress walking through. Like, why did they make it look like the arcade had like everybody in it? It was so weird.
That's hilarious.
Like, there's this like old couple in the arcade. It's like our grandparents would never have gone into an arcade back then. But yeah, arcades, getting some quarters and going down there, and we used to play that, and there's also foosball table that we used to play as well. So it was a cross between like the arcade games, Galaga, and that was Cubert. Cubert was a little bit later.
A little bit later. That was mid 80s.
Right. When I was in college, I used to skip out of class just to play Tetris. I was like obsessed with Tetris. It kind of goes with
You
my
went to
sort of,
college?
I don't know. I have some sort of ticketism, I think. So like when these sorts of games where you just have to put, but you just a little gay sprinkle of sparkles of some tism. But these games where you, like I play SimCity sometimes, but just to make the patterns of the city and watch it grow. Those are my games. It's the oddest thing. I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe you guys can shrink me and help me understand that.
I don't have the time, but
I,
I want to add two things about the arcade.
Okay.
One thing, there's still some around that are really fun. Victoria has an awesome one. Two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, Victoria has a really nice one with a lot of the really old classics. Two,
Donkey Kong.
I love that there is such a, like, this is what arcades in movie scenes look like, because there's a couple of shots in the arcade that I would have to go back to check, but I feel like they're like almost scene for scene shots with Terminator 2 when he's playing in the arcade.
oh yeah, that was another good arcade. Yeah.
Right, like that they use the same arcade sort of thing.
Kind of, but also like the same, like, you know, way of like watching someone stand over it. Like the shot
Yeah.
angle and everything is the same. The crowd behind them. It's funny.
That's great.
Well, I can tell you from the trivia that they actually brought in video games on set for people to play when they were not filming their scenes, just to get the energy in the right place.
I will say that was nice because so many TV shows and movies use fake video games, which I've never understood when there are so many real ones.
Is it usage rights or something?
I mean, probably, but like there must be like people out there who just need exposure for their games and wouldn't mind. Like, I'm sure there's easy ways to get real video games in there so your characters aren't like doing nonsense.
Anyhow, Flynn's apartment was like a dream apartment for somebody in their late teens or early 20s. Arcade with a bachelor apartment above. Amazing. I would live there now. Well, let's transition to worst parts.
I'm going to dive in on the transition because I have a scene that I don't know is part of best or worst parts.
Okay, let's hear it.
And it is in Flynn's bachelor apartment, and I love how ridiculous it is that he takes off his shirt to put on the same shirt just so he doesn't have his shirt on in front of the girl for a bit.
It's classic.
nice-
I didn't know.
Like,
didn't
you're really
notice
going
that.
for the power move there.
I do that with this Wilford Brimley shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah, you just, you know, take it off, walk out for a moment, go back, put it on.
Absolutely. Mathew, any parts you could criticize in this movie?
I think they could have had sort of some hotter guys in the movie.
That's my critique too.
No, honestly, because it's like these tight-fitting suits and stuff. I think they needed a little bit of the
Sex
They
appeal?
needed, well, you know, somebody.
That's what the Glow Jobs movie's for, Matthew.
Yeah, some people on the casting couch. You know what I mean?
I did want to say I had in my best parts one of my favorite tropes of these 80s movies, which is hot girl, give her glasses, now she's smart girl.
Yeah,
Smart
that
hot
was
girl.
a total trope. Yeah.
I for a movie that I didn't really like, I can't really think of any standalone scenes that I was like, I didn't like this part.
Just dragged on a bit, right? It's just a bit slow.
Yeah, just a weird one. One scene I didn't like was that chick who made out with Flynn, and then like 5 minutes later, she's making out with the other dude. Like,
Yeah.
what a
Computer
floozy.
sluts.
Right?
Right? The way it is. Okay, well, let's transition to favorite line. I liked, who does he calculate he is?
I feel like this movie had a lot of good, bad lines. You will receive the standard, substandard training.
Yeah, that was good.
That's classic.
I liked end of line. It was short, cold, perfect.
Yes. Well delivered.
I'm trying to remember the scene it came from, but there was this. Oh, I think it was when the guy was like crashing the ship, and just some random guy yells out, "That's a headache."
That's
good.
that's a headache. I fight for the users because that is like the first cinematic manifesto of open source humanity, right? Like it's so like leading to all of these things that we talk about now. I thought that was pretty cool. And Flynn's offhand, "Hey, it's only a game, right?" Was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Okay, well, you guys want to hear how this movie did?
Yes.
Did we talk about the worst parts already?
Well, we went through it and you didn't have any because you said you loved this movie.
I did. I mean, the story logic does collapse if you stare at it for too long, but you know, I still liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you have any worst parts you wanted to call out?
The solar sail scene.
Well, you know, to be fair to this movie, I don't think the movie was trying to move you. It was trying to initiate you, right? And it looking back at it, Olen, like this movie was like a ritual of entry to the digital age for all of us. And I think that's why we hold on to it, right? It was sort of beyond a movie. It wasn't sort of we're trying to make you feel something and tell a good story. It's like, well, welcome to the digital age. That's what I think of this movie.
And Sean just mentioned the solar sail scene, and I was thinking back to that scene, and I think Disney didn't do a great job of the live person movie in those days because it felt very cartoony.
Yeah.
Anyhow, how did this do? According to Box Office Mojo Worldwide, Tron was the 22nd highest earning movie at the box office in 1982. E.T. was the leader at the box office this year, and Tron was beat this year by other sci-fi gems, Star Trek Wrath of Khan, as well as Too Old or Pure Gold favorite Firefox. So Sean, Firefox beat this.
That seems wrong.
Oof. So I guess that gives you a hint at how it did at the box office. Still, 22nd isn't that bad, and Tron beat other movies in the genre this year, including Blade Runner and The Thing.
Wow.
Tron beat The Thing?
Tron beat The Thing. Because it's in the day. People didn't figure out The Thing was a good movie until later, if you guys remember from when we did that episode.
I don't know what's more upsetting, that this beat The Thing or that Firefox beat The Thing.
It's a mixed up year, that's for sure. Chariots of Fire was the best Oscar movie this year, and Chariots of Fire actually traumatized my adolescent movie-going experience.
You're a hater. We have to do Chariots of Fire.
Well, can I tell you my Tron Chariots of Fire story? Because they came out in the same year. First of all, I hate Chariots of Fire. It's a horrible movie. And we will do that episode just so that we can talk about it. But in this year, I was forced by the parents of a friend of mine, and you know who you are, to see Chariots of Fire in the theater. They had a birthday party, and their parents said, we're seeing Chariots of Fire. It's a terrible movie for 12-year-olds.
For a kid's birthday party, those parents suck.
Meanwhile, Tron was in the theater next door, and I could have been seeing Tron again. So, yeah, I have particular hatred for Chariots of Fire that maybe isn't fair to the movie. Okay, the budget for this movie was $17 million. That seems about right for 1982. What do you think it did in the box office?
30.
Ooh, 39. And I think 16 of that 17 million was spent on people hand painting the LEDs on them.
On that point, Anthony, the budget was 17 million. To put it in perspective, Star Wars budget was 11, E.T.'s budget was 11, and Raiders of the Lost Ark was 20.
Wow. They had a bigger budget than Star Wars.
I was going to say, I feel like knowing the budget has made me less impressed by the movie. Because a lot of it I excused because I assumed it didn't have a budget.
500,000 hand-painted frames. I mean, I think this all went to, minimum wage salaries.
Still.
Now that we have CGI, Temu is taking over that team to make T-shirts.
Maybe made some outfits that didn't just have pillows strapped to them.
I loved it. I would wear that outfit today. I loved it.
Okay.
Okay, Sean, you didn't guess, but I'm going to give you the answer. Box office, 33 million. So as we know, you pretty much have to double it before you start making money back. So it was not a success.
I got distracted by just how much it cost. Sorry.
I know. When you put it in perspective of other movies, like 17 doesn't sound like a lot. The new Tron Ares that's out right now was $180 million to make.
Wow.
Yeah. Good luck
Jared
getting that
Leto's
back.
expensive.
Movies are ridiculously expensive now.
So, because of the poor performance, Disney didn't make another live subject movie for 10 years. And Disney wasn't actually that good at making live person movies, just cartoons. The last successful live subject film before this movie, which wasn't successful, was The Love Bug in 1968.
Herbie.
So 68 to 92, they didn't have a successful live subject film.
And that's interesting because the human element in this movie feels a little bit underpowered, right?
But let me just give you one fact about the performance of this movie. At the time, the head of marketing at Disney, a guy named Walker, didn't believe in promoting movies. He said if it's good, people will come and see it. Compare that to E.T. and Annie that each spent $10 million each on marketing.
I don't... That's not how that works.
That sounds like most people in the cannabis industry. All that.
So what, thinking that you don't need marketing? If it's good, they'll come?
Yeah.
Well, I know better. So
If it had no marketing, how would it have done if it had marketing? See, now that's an interesting, alternative universe.
I think it would have done double.
Yeah.
I think it would have done double what it did at the box
Yeah.
office.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
also,
So how easy would this Walker guy's job be? I'm the head of marketing. We don't do marketing. I'm just going to kick back.
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of want that job. Pay me to tell you that you don't need me.
Don't you think a lot of executives have that job, Matthew? Getting paid to say no?
I
Yeah,
wonder.
it sounds like a specialist kink for a sex worker.
I was kind of. I was kind of thinking too. I wonder if this movie was a victim of of being the first real computer, one of the first real computer movies. I wonder if it was 5 years down the road and people had older generation had an idea about it. They might have been more intrigued by it.
I think it warmed the world up for movies like War Games, which was successful, right? And that was,
And that's what I meant by it wasn't trying to move you, it was initiating you. It
Yeah.
was just sort
Yeah.
of it was
Anthony, I think you're spot on with your point. I think people didn't
Yeah.
really get their head around this. Also, I'm going to say it was a fairly narrow segment of the market that this was appealing to as well. Because computers were
geeks.
new, and most people your age and my age in the day weren't really into computers yet. It was kids, it was the arcade games that got this movie the interest that it got. So I think that was 33 million of just teenagers going to see this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think real grown-up adults were going to see this movie in the day.
no.
And I think this is we're going to find out how the new movie does. I think it's not going to do well, and I think that's because it's a nostalgia piece for people that were 12 years old in 1982, and that's a small portion of the population. Anyhow, I want to figure out. So the marketing guy screwed this movie over a little bit. It could have been more successful. It is I think it's pretty popular in hindsight. I think it's got a good cult following. But what do people actually think? Critics and audience Rotten Tomato score. What do you guys think? How many people said get out and see this movie?
And this is up to date, right?
It's from the day and up to date. Anybody that cared to weigh in between 1982 and this morning?
This one's
I'd say I'd give critics and audiences. I don't think anybody would shit on it, but I'd say they're both critics and audiences at 60%.
Yeah, I was thinking audience 65, critics 53.
Oh, we're all so close in the same thinking, I feel like. But I think it's going to be slightly higher. I'm going to put critics at I'm going to put them at 65. I'm going to be bold. And I'm going to put users
Bold.
also I'm going to put them up to 70 because I think it's probably drifted forward with time.
Wow, you guys did a good job on this. I didn't give you a hint this time either. Anthony and Sean, very good on the critics. It was 68 critics. 68% of critics said get out and see this movie, and 69% of audience.
Okay.
So, Sean, you win with a 4. Excellent score. Anthony, 19. Mathew, 17.
We're all pretty damn close.
Yeah, no, none of those are far.
So, a little bit of trivia. I told you I found this fascinating, but the video game outgrossed the film. So they made the video game based on the movies after the movie, and it made more money than the movie itself. Incredible.
Which is got to be impressive for video games in that era, because that's a decent chunk of money.
Yeah.
I don't know what the average video game in the 80s was making, but that feels like a lot.
Well, I mean, the arcade built Nintendo, right? A game like Donkey Kong. Oh, by the way, did you guys notice the Pac-Man in the movie?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. It was pretty cool, just off to the side. Nice homage. Okay.
I nodded yes, like the viewers will see that.
So I just did some research. So Donkey Kong in today's money would have been it made about $500 million in 1981.
Wow.
It's incredible.
For
Good
like
margin.
getting things going, that's really impressive.
Anthony, we gotta play some Donkey Kong today.
Sweet.
Okay, so some more facts. This fact to me is the most interesting one of all. This movie was disqualified from the Oscars special effects category because computer enhanced effects were considered cheating.
That's hilarious.
I mean, that does not age well.
I mean, that shows you how ahead of the times, in some ways,
Yeah.
this movie was, right? Like, it was
really
using
was.
something that would be just standard now.
Absolutely.
I feel like in the modern world, you'd be shocked if you had no CGI in it.
That would be like the Globe Theatre in the UK. You know, the first time women were allowed to act, saying she couldn't win the award because she was a real woman versus a guy in a wig.
Yeah. It's crazy. Many actual Disney animators refused to work on this film because they feared computers would replace them.
Oh, well, guess what? You're out of a fucking job.
Now you're making t-shirts for Timu.
Now you're making T-shirts for Teamer.
Now that comment's not going to age well.
No, it is not. This movie got a PG rating because of one scene, the scene where he's hit in the head and clock parts fall out of his helmet. Apparently, anytime you have spilled brains, it gets a PG rating, whether it's clock parts or brains.
It doesn't even have to be real brain. That sucks.
Oh, these people.
Mathew, Deborah Harry tested for the Laura role. Would have been much better with her.
Yeah.
Robin Williams was the first choice for Flynn.
No.
And they actually had to hire a Frisbee coach, Sam Scatz, to train the
They
actors.
have those?
Hey, this guy
Wow.
Sam Scatz got a contract to train the actors in throwing Frisbees.
That's a cushy job.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just flick the wrist. Flick, and flick one, flick two.
Oh, now I've got more than
And that's
one
why they
cold
couldn't
open.
afford real outfits.
Yeah. Yeah, they spent all the money on hand painting frames and Frisbee coaches. Okay, we're at
I
the...
don't even think you would have noticed if they weren't trained because they weren't playing Frisbee.
Woke or joke, Matthew, I'm going to try one out on you, see if this maybe doesn't age well. I said kissing a computer program. Do you think humans and computer programs making out is not aged well?
Well, we have fleshlights now. We've gone a little bit further.
Actually, they got full-on sex robots now.
There you go. I mean,
that-
the point is moot at this point, right?
The thing that always bothers me about those is how do you clean them? Anyhow, that's another podcast.
Ooh,
That's another
gross. I think you don't. You don't.
Okay. However you guys felt about this movie, I promise you there's others who liked it more and less than you. For this movie, there were 73 10-star reviews out of 370 total reviews. Mental Critic calls it the film that The Matrix wishes it was. Sean, do you agree with that?
No. No, I do not.
Smokeman Messel calls it his favorite movie of all time. A guy called Right to Sam says, to viewers from 2024, Tron seems dated and silly, but the writers, directors, and animators were far ahead of their time. They were prophesizing a world in which computers took over our day-to-day tasks, video games became a way of life, and computer animation changed the way movies are made. Oh, Sean, this one I want to hear your thoughts on. A guy called WD71 says, I think the negative reviews come from people who don't understand computer lingo. Bits.
Oh, we've discovered I'm a fake computer scientist now.
And then a nice short one, good to the last bite.
Yeah, I like that.
So let's hear from the people who liked it less. For this movie, there were only 5 people that gave it a 1-star review compared to the 73 10-star reviews. And that's,
Wow.
even though I hear what you guys say, and I think a lot of people didn't love this movie, that's actually not surprising because I think you got to really hate it to give it 1 star. That's why I'm always fascinated by these people. So the first reviewer, his name is Jizzy Chubb, and I ask, should we even listen to his views?
That needs to be PG rated.
Okay, so Jizzy Chubb says this movie is no more than a 1982 video game pitch. Hideous graphics make it hard to watch and overcome the characters. The plot is so weak it's almost impossible to tell there is one.
Yeah, I picture him in his mom's basement with like a Cheeto stain on the caps lock writing that.
Pray it's just a Cheeto stain.
Mad at the movies. I appreciate the ambition that it took to make this movie back in 1982, but it just can't overcome the technical deficiencies of the time. The movie looks cheap and it's an eyesore. They were working with what they had, but even other sci-fi films at the time looked much better. I don't know. And Crysec 19. I have no idea how this is considered a classic. Even in 1982, the effects were very, very bad. The acting is pretty bad. The music is annoying, and the movie is generally a bore. Okay, so just haters.
Yep.
So here's the fun part. Siskel and Ebert. What do you guys think? Here we go.
I think they liked it because it was pushing boundaries.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like they both liked this one.
I mean, isn't it always one yes, one no?
Yeah, that's what Nicole does. She plays the odds. Siskel, so I think the more uptight of the two, called it something special and absolutely first rate and praised the computer-enhanced visuals. He said it was a whole lot of fun and expands our idea of computers and their potential. Ebert said he loved this movie and was into it immediately. He said he's never seen anything like it before. 2 wildly enthusiastic thumbs up. These guys were almost giddy. They loved this movie.
That's great.
So the question, does this movie deserve a remake or sequel? You know, what I find, we'd all know there's sequels, but what I find interesting with this is that Tron Legacy was 32 years after the original. And by the way, Rotten Tomatoes 51 and 64, so less liked by critics and audience than the original.
Interesting.
And then Tron Ares were like almost 45 years since the original. And Jeff Bridges is still in the movie.
That's incredible to think it's 45 years later. That is old.
And Tron Ares right now is tracking, it's new in the theater, but it's tracking lower on critics and higher on audience than the original.
I want to see it.
I want to rewatch
no.
Tron Legacy. I have fond memories of that as a young man.
I would be curious to see both the sequels. I think I saw Tron Legacy at some point. I have no memory of it.
I got to tell you, Anthony, not to be too local here, but if you can break away from the family, they do Tron Legacy and Tron Ares back to back in our local movie theater here. And our local movie theater, the theaters have just like 25 seats, and there are all double wide leather reclining chairs. And $14 a ticket. $14 a ticket. It's incredible. Anyhow, I'll edit that out.
So Tron Legacy, Daft Punk did the music, which is such an awesome choice. The soundtrack for Legacy is so good.
Here's the thing, though. I actually, we have 2 sequels, but I think what I really want is a remake. Because I like that core original story, and I think in many ways you could make that very relevant to the modern world. You just give them better outfits and have some actors who were allowed to act.
That's a great point, Sean. Great point. I think it would be kind of cool. Like relaunch the franchise.
Yeah. I think you could get a lot of people in by not making it a sequel that, people don't want to go back to.
Yeah, agreed.
Agree, yeah.
Okay, well, let's make it formal. Is this movie too old or pure gold?
So pure gold in ambition, too old in execution, but a movie this far ahead of itself always will be. So I say pure gold.
I agree with Mathew completely up until the last part. I think it's just too old.
It's funny. I've been debating this one. It falls into a weird place for me because in many ways it is too old. I don't think it's a good movie. And I think you could cut out probably 30 minutes of this movie and make it tighter and better. But at the same time, I'm glad I watched it. And I think was important for a lot of the things that moved forward. So I think I might give it a pure go just on its importance.
Wow, I'm impressed. Well, you just answered the question I was going to ask you guys, so I'll ask Anthony. For people out there that are lovers of movies, do you think they should see this, Anthony, despite being too old?
No. And just to jump off Sean there, for a 90-minute movie, which is my bread and butter, this felt like a 2-hour movie. So it's not just about the time, it's about how they execute, and I think they just failed with it.
Okay.
It's when they got into the race to talk to the user and the race to talk to the master controller. Those scenes dragged for a really long time with not a lot happening.
I did love the graphics of Master Control at the end, the big smiling face. It's so good.
That was really funny for me. I couldn't even tell you what, but I feel like I've seen that so many times in so many different things as spoofs and stuff, and I didn't know where it came from.
Yeah. I'm going to say this movie is pure gold, and I'm going to say if you are Gen X, well, if you're Gen X, you've seen this movie, I'm sure. But I think it's just fun to take you back to the time and you know, when we had arcades and when this stuff was so new and so cool. And I admit it doesn't hold up, but I'm giving it pure gold.
Fair enough.
And
I respect that.
I appreciate you guys revisiting this movie with me. I kind of knew it would be a hard one for you, but we got to do it.
Yeah, great promise. I liked it in a way. I didn't like it, but I liked what it was trying to do to me.
It tried. It took a big swing.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking hard about, you know, your comments about the length of it and how it dragged a little bit, and that's kind of the common feedback I get on this movie. And I am wondering if you could do a re-edit of it and make it a little bit tighter. But I think Sean's got the best idea. Just remake it now.
Yeah, I agree.
It would be fun to see what they could do with it.
Like I said, I think it's a great concept, a great story idea.
Yeah.
Just not perfectly executed. And for the love of God, better outfits than pillows.
I love the helmets. I like the hockey helmet, the foam hockey helmet. Well, anybody that's going out to see the new movie, Tron Ares, right now, it actually, I think it's not necessary, but it's fun to watch the original movie before you go because it does a nice job of paying respect to the original.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And I'm already ready.
Well, let's call it the end of the podcast. Thanks, guys, for doing this.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Bye.